A hero is just as great as the villains. Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to talk about my top 10 TV villains. I often feel that a villain is a great part of the show, because I'd like to see the hero overcome the villain. And just to let you know that this doesn't mean that the TV villains have to be live action. They can be cartoon and they can be anime. Later this year I'm gonna make a top 10 live action TV villains, but for now this is just my top 10 TV villains. I'm also gonna make a top 10 cartoon villains and a top 10 anime villains. Coming in as number 10 is Dracula from the 2020 series Dracula. I think that this is the best version of Dracula that I've ever seen. I like how evil he is and how sadistic he is, but that he's able to give the character such a charm. It's a big part of his character, and the Lord of the Damned should be pure evil, which I think this character is. And when you make a show about Dracula, you can't have the show to be lighthearted. It should be dark and twisted. The showrunners made a very great job with the show, even though I didn't like it that much. And I can tell you that Dracula is the best part of the show, and that not just because the show is named after him. If the show was better, then I might have put Dracula higher on this list, but I didn't like the show that much, so Dracula only come in as number 10. Coming in as number 9 is Grandmode from Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's one of the best character show I've ever produced, and that's saying something. Every time I see him, he seems like a character that can make the right decision but choose to do the opposites, and that's one of the reasons why I like him so much. I was really surprised when he betrayed the main characters. I didn't see that coming at all. Often when a character is gonna betray someone in a show, the show also makes us know that it's possible, and that the fact that we don't see that here is something that helps his character very much. I could find no clue that he was going to betray the other than the comics, and I didn't really think they were going to do it. But when they did, it really helped me appreciate the character even more. The reason he's so low on the list is because I haven't seen the show for a while, and I don't remember all of that well. Next up is Icicle from Stargirl. He's by far the best villain of Stargirl Season 1. The reason I like him so much is because he's motivated by greed. He's motivated by making America a better place for his son, which is something I can relate to. Family is one of the most important things a person have, and the fact that he lost his wife early on made me sympathize with his character. It gives him more depth than the other villains of this season, and the fact that he is willing to go so far to murder others to complete his goal shows how much dedicated he is to his goal. Coming on at number 7 is General Ironwood from Ruby. He's a fallen hero and he plays that role really well. I really like his character, and I like that he's a paranoid general that suits the show very well. I also like that he's not really his fault that he becomes a villain. I like that the other villain used his paranoia to their advantage. Almost everything else the other villains do increases his paranoia, and to the point that he breaks. All he wants is to protect the kingdom of Atlas, but he's really misguided on how he should do it. And that it is possible for him to seek redemption at the end of Volume 8 is also something that is really great. I really think that he's gonna die at the end of the volume, and that can serve as his redemption. Coming up at number 6 is Blackbeard from One Piece. Unlike Ironwood, there's no hope for Blackbeard to be redeemed in One Piece. His character is pure evil. Some spoiler for One Piece, but what made people really hate Blackbeard is the fact that they killed Ace and Whitebeard. One of the things I like most about it is that he is an intelligent pirate. He's pure evil, but he's also really intelligent. He knows how to make people follow him. And that he managed to acquire more than one devil fruit is something that is really remarkable. And I can't wait to see what he will do in the future of One Piece. I'm really looking forward to the fight between Luffy and Blackbeard. I really think it's going to be a real awesome fight. One thing that I really think suits his character is that he is a coward, but he can also hold his own in a fight. Coming up at number 5 is Cersei from Game of Thrones. I really like Cersei from Game of Thrones. She's a real badass villain. The reason I think she's so badass is because how smart she is. She's not a physical threat, but she's influential, and she's intelligent. She really knows how to play the Game of Thrones, and that really worked for her character. And that the fact that she's mostly doing it because of her family. There's no doubt that Cersei loves her children and loves Jaime, either she can be cold to him when he left her. What really stuck with me is that how much she hates Tywin, even though he's a brother, but she's still a family person. Her hatred for Tywin comes that Tywin caused his mother to die when he was born. Don't get me wrong, her action isn't just because of her family, it's also because of her power-hungry nature, but that only helps her character more. I also like another of her motivation is that she is a woman that will be taken seriously in a world controlled by men. Coming up as number 4 is Malcolm Merlyn from Arrow. I really like Malcolm Merlyn from Arrow, not only because he's the first villain of Arrow, but because of his motivation. He wants to revenge his wife who died, and that's a motivation I really can understand. And he isn't a villain without redeeming qualities. He really loves his daughter, and that have been shown very well throughout season 4. And beyond. But I like that in the end he is a villain. He loves power. The fact that he managed to become Ra's al Ghul by making a deal with Oliver Queen really helps him as well. And the fact that he joins up with Damien Dark is also something that I think is great. It really shows how much he's willing to do to get revenge on Oliver after losing the title of Ra's al Ghul. I like that he had a redemption at the end of season 5. I really think that that's really what the character needed. Coming in as number 3 is Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones. He's the best villain of Game of Thrones there is, and that's saying something. I really like his character, that he's power hungry, but he's clever. He's like Cersei, but unlike Cersei, he has no real regard for his own family, the way I see him. He hates Tyrion the same reason that Cersei hates Tyrion, because his wife died when Tyrion was born, and he blames Tyrion for that. And when it comes to his love of power, he maintains his power by forcing his children to marry into powerful family to sustain his alliance. He also has a really great tactical mind. He's a great strategist, and that really helped the character, and it helped build him up as a real threat. You can say that he's the reason Cersei became the way she is, because it was his abuse that led her down the path. Coming in as number 2 is Eobard Thawne, aka the Reverse Flash from the TV show Flash. I really like the Reverse Flash. He's the best villain of Flash in my meaning. I really enjoy the personal connection he has to Barry, since he's the one that killed Barry's mother and set Barry on his path to become the Flash. He's that type of villain that will always come back no matter how hard you defeat him. There's almost nothing you can do to really get rid of him. I think that his best was in Volume 1, but I also think that he was really great in Volume 5. I really like how he managed to manipulate Nora to his own ends. I didn't think he was full so great on Legend of Tomorrow, but I didn't think it was bad either. And no matter how many times the hero defeat him, I never get tired of seeing him getting beaten at the end of the story. And coming in as number 1 is Kingpin from Netflix, Daredevil. I really think this is the best version of Kingpin there is. What I like most about him is that he's nothing more than a normal human. He has no superpower and at all, and that's something that really worked for the better. I really like that he's nothing but a corrupt businessman and crime lord. He's the best part of the show, and that's saying something because Daredevil is a fantastic show. I love every scene that has with him to do, even if he's in prison or not, and he's by far one of the most intelligent characters in the show. And he isn't a character without any redeeming qualities. He really loves Vanessa, and that's something that I can really understand. Love is something really important. And who can forget that he used a car door to kill a man with by slamming it into his head multiple times. I think that scene alone shows how intimidating he can be. And that's it for this video. Keep in mind that this top 10 can change later on. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section down below. And so like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.